Let's face it, when we hear the term the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it conjures up a lot of myths, misconceptions, worries, and woes. But what is it really like visiting Saudi Arabia as a woman in 2023?
With us now from Uzbekistan.
This is Hollie McKay in Kabul.
Mazar Sharif.
Taliban capital of Kandahar.
At a camp on the edges of Kabul.
Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan.
Iran, Turkey, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, also Burma, Russia, East Africa.
Sat through military tribunals and interviewed hundreds of soldiers, civilians, and government officials before, during, and after the horrors of war.
We have to understand the way that they think.
Last time I visited the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it was the summer of 2018. It took weeks to obtain a visa. I had to cover my head and dine separately to the men in restaurants. I also arrived the week women were permitted to drive. But cut to 2023, and what I found was a very different country. Hi, this is Hollie, and we are in Saudi Arabia. I'm actually in Riyadh at the moment. Mind you, this is a place I've been to before, but really only when I was working in Yemen, to go in and out of Yemen. So this is a bit of a different experience for me, getting to be in Saudi Arabia. Kind of more, I'm working, but a little bit more of a tourist. And I wanted to kind of walk you all through parts of Saudi Arabia. We're going to go across the country, and it's sort of a place, I think, with many myths and much mystique. So I hopefully that in joining me on this journey, you'll get to see perhaps a different side of this country. So looking forward. This time around, there was no mandatory head coverings for foreigners, mixed genders in public places, and an e-visa that takes just minutes to obtain online. And the level of development is to rival any other oil-swathed Gulf country, and it's pretty remarkable. And there's parts of Riyadh that look something like Disneyland meets Las Vegas. And although women are far from men when it comes to equality, there are big changes afoot, especially when it comes to universities, where women now make up the majority of enrollments. There is even a long-running and much touted terrorist rehab, known as the Counseling and Care Center.
And international confrontations, where we give our recommendations and advice to other countries as well. Also, when we deal with terrorist attacks, we have an effort happened before that terrorist attack.
Only this is no ordinary rehab. Terrorists are not referred to as inmates, but instead they're called beneficiaries and typically stay for 3 months.
Clock here. We have a specific schedule for beneficiaries. Some of them, they need individual sessions, so they sign for that. Usually,
Such progressions in the country are not by happenstance. This is the result of the kingdom's Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS, controversial Vision 2030 plan. Its goal is to uplift and diversify the country away from its dependence on oil. And a major economic driver is tourism, and that includes luring visitors to Al Ula, the kingdom's first UNESCO World Heritage Site in the northwestern Medina province. Hi everyone, we are in Al Ula now, which is in the desert of Saudi Arabia, and it's sort of their upcoming I guess, tourist attraction. It's still quite exclusive. And we're about to go on an adventure into the sand dunes and to see some of the beautiful parts of the desert. And it's very warm, but this is winter in Saudi Arabia. I can only imagine what the summer is like. Al Ula is an archaeologist's dream, dating back to 7,000-year-old ancient tombs, with an interesting history as it pertains to women.
Even that each tomb for a family from different generations, but when we say the owner was a woman, we mean that the one who paid for the space here and hired people to carve for her was a woman, which means that Nabatean women and their importance actually in the Nabatean society, they could own properties, hire people to work for them, so mostly they were traders actually. And most of the Nabatean society. In general, Nabatean were known between Arabs before they established their kingdom as the water engineers actually between Arabs. They became the name Nabatean actually comes from the Arabic word Nabat, which means something springs from the ground.
And lastly, we are taken through the old city of Jeddah
The city from
by
the
Sami,
Portuguese, the
who is
year
known by
1516.
locals as the
Nasif
quote-unquote
House,
mayor.
150 years old. King Abdulaziz lived here 1925. A horse or a mule or a camel can go all the way to the top of the house. Let's run into the house.
The sound of 36 calls to prayer here in Jeddah. This is the old city. It's pretty beautiful. And we can't forget to mention that the food and hospitality is pretty spot on. The history books will likely look back at Vision 2030 as a critical 21st century development in foreign affairs. While certainly an imperfect country, I can't deny the kingdom's transformation that I've been able to witness firsthand.